Welcome back to stage 2 at Minehead in the UK Open. And now on our hands, we've got our first round 3 game on this streaming board. Both players looking good spirits ahead of this one. Jamie Hughes has every reason to be. He reached the final of Players' Championship 1 a few weeks ago. He's looking to really try and propel himself back up the rankings. A top 32 player at one point was Jozza, a winner on the Euro Tour, but injuries have meant that his form has tailed off in the last couple of years and he's slid down the rankings, but he looks to be in fine fettle. He's up against Florian Hempel, who is in the 3rd year of his tour card. Money beginning to drop off those rankings. Maybe suffered with a touch of second season syndrome last year. Wasn't quite as successful as year 1, but he did get to Ali Pali. And that's going to be the aim again this season for the winner of the German Super League last November. And Paul Nicholson, this looks like one of the more intriguing games we've had on stage 2.
I think intriguing is a very good word for it, Dan. Interesting to me that someone in Jamie Hughes, who has almost prided himself on the fact that he doesn't change much about his game, has made multiple changes at the start of 2023. Decided to go it alone, away from his previous management now. A new venture in that regard. A new dart shirt for the first time in what seems like a decade. He's got a new design, still in the Black Country colours. And over the course of the last week or so, he decided to get rid of his beard.
60.
Looking a bit more clean-shaven is Jozza, with, well, you can't exactly mistake him for anybody else with the way that nickname's been posted on the back of his shirt.
99.
Nice to see Jozza back, because he is, when he's on form, one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, he's got smooth action where there's not many moving parts. Just throw them quite firmly, and that probably contributed to the elbow problems that he had. Former handball player Florian Hempel,
25.
which of course you stage 2 viewers will know by now. Decided to swap that for the hockey, and he's generally been a success.
Yeah, be one of the players that if there was a goalkeeper in front of the dartboard, he'd be pretty good at playing darts, even still.
Yeah, he'd have sore hands, but I think he'd defend them quite well.
I wouldn't want to go up against Florian in anything. He is a bit of a presence. Tall, broad shoulders. He's very handy at this game, but he's got his hands full with Jozza in this one. And if he gets early season confidence, not just from that first Players' Championship, but other things as well, not only Florian, but everybody's going to be watching out for him.
20 for double 16, or 12 for tops.
42.
Dips below the target, but Hempel nowhere near after a few scruffy visits in this leg so far. It's the 4th meeting between the two players. Hempel leads by 2-1.
Game shot in the first leg.
Hughes leads 1-0.
Second leg, Florian.
Fair to say, Dan, that in that first leg, I've heard more support for Jamie Hughes than any other person so far this afternoon.
83.
Would you concur?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, he might have a decent-sized travelling contingent and come down from the Black Country.
You could actually say that his support is considerably richer than ours. Is that lost on you? That reference? Completely lost on you. Where's Dan Dawson?
Can you fill us in?
There is a Harry Enfield sketch, very famous one, with somebody from the West Midlands who says he is considerably richer than you. And he has the same accent as said person. I'll show you it later, don't worry. I'll fill you in
44.
on that matter, not the other way.
Always an education working alongside you, Nico.
Somewhat infuriating as well, I can completely appreciate.
94.
Saw a lot of Florian Hempel during the PDC Europe Super League. Same as Daniel Closer, who's just been taken out by Mario van der Behade, by the way. But Hempel was the winner in taking Nico Springer out in the final. A somewhat bad-tempered final, but a brilliant one to watch. A bit like Yozza's form at the minute, because this is a great start for Jamie.
Not just in this match, but in the year as well. A runner-up, a top 16, a top 16, and a top 64. By any measurement, that's going to get him to Minehead for the Players' Championship finals. It's going to get him to the World Championships easily. It could get him to even more beyond that.
I think he wants more. Hempel wanted more than that. This is 4 points less than Hempel's shot, but it's easier because he only needs one treble. No matter what happens with the first dart, he's still got a chance.
And that chance has just disappeared.
53.
Well, he went for the bull to leave double 18. Florian only needs tops. Tops he gets.
One thing that Florian's made a change to at the start of this year is new darts. New equipment manufacturer as a sponsor. He's getting used to new kit. And sometimes it does take a little bit of time for that to kick in.
96.
Yozza's been the kind of player that hasn't changed anything really when it comes to equipment over the course of his career. If you were to watch him from 5, 6, 7 years ago, he isn't exactly the same as this. He understands it's not the kit with him, it's usually the execution, the technique. And he's been looking for this for a good 6 months. That first dart where he can plant it in that 60 and be aggressive with darts 2 and 3. It's starting to click.
And it's part of the reason why he's made a Pro Tour final, as Hempel hits a maximum of his own. His first of the game. 265 percentage players to always start in the 19s, and what a visit that is from Jamie Hughes. Take that, Florian.
Just imagine if he could say that out loud on shots like that. If there was a little bit of sledging on the oche and Yoz had said, take that, Florian. I wonder how he would have taken that.
Maybe there needs to be an alternative non-ranking tournament. Just as many distractions as possible permitted.
70.
Again, nicely tidied up from Hughes. Florian not really challenging on the Hughes throw.
85.
He really doesn't like that third dart.
You require 24.
Yozza should take the lead again. Other side, Jamie. Well done. Definitely got a lot of fans out there. The man who made his debut in this tournament in 2012. Lost in the prelim round that year to Steve Hine, the Muffin Man. And didn't get into this tournament again until 2018, the year of the Beast from the East here at Minehead, where he lost in the last 32 to Ian White by 10 legs to 8. And that was a cracking game of darts. White winning that 18-leg contest with an average in excess of 102.
85.
He's had some pretty good runs over the last couple of years. Made the last 16 in 2020, losing out to Mensa Sulevic. And he's made the last 32 a couple of times as well, so he knows how to negotiate Fridays.
Yeah, he's another player who I'd bracket in the very steady and solid category, just looking to make that next career step. I think having that Euro Tour victory in the Czech Republic a few years ago will have given him the taste for it, but then the injury struck at the wrong time.
Injuries tend to do that.
100.
But not afraid to make what are uncharacteristic changes at the start of the year may be the key to success for him.
60.
Just looking for a fresh start in the middle of his career, because he's got plenty of years ahead of him. I mentioned that Ian White game that he had in 2018. That was a belter, but the following year he played Ian White again, got his revenge, 10 legs to 5, and they both averaged over 100 in that campaign. That was some match.
Well, to not leave a finish after being on 175 would be some doing, but Hempel needs to be careful.
25.
All they can take out from that is 25, so Jamie Hughes needs 12 for tops.
30.
Hempel now has a chance, albeit a pretty slim chance.
Chance gone. Hughes for the halfway point. Has got a nice ring to it, if you're Jamie. Good setup that from Flo. Double 10 for Yoza. How good is that? This is a great performance from Jamie. Very much swimming in a pool of confidence after a really good start to the year. Now we have got some names into the draw for later. 4 of them. One of them, Mike Dedecker, beating Ryan Joyce 6 legs to 5 with a very good performance. Martijn Kleermaker has dispatched Steve Lennon, and there are 2 more names through. Dan.
Yep, Nathan Rafferty came through a last leg decider against Ryan Meikle, while Roby John Rodriguez, Richard Veenstra 6-2, so a mixed day for the Rodriguez family. We tend to have one really good run from one of the amateurs per year, and that man this year could be Dan Reed. He's 3-1 up on Martin Lukeman in round 3.
Is he getting Lukeman at the right time? Because he hasn't had the best start of 2023. If he'd have played Martin Lukeman 12 months ago, it may have been a very different story. So, interesting times for Smash fans.
Well, we came to know and love him on the Euro Tour last year, because he got into 9 out of 13. None out of 4 so far.
Yeah, that's not going to help the start of your year.
Menta Sulevic 5-3 up on Mickey Mansell. Yes, that game is still going.
My tea isn't warm anymore.
My beard is longer.
Graham Usher versus Ricky Evans. That game is on
Swift.
board 8. That is not going to take long. That's arguably the quickest game in the world. 6-3 Sulevic. He's beaten Mansell. That game has ended with Sulevic the victor.
Yep, stays straight on the 20. Didn't need to go for the treble 18 bull route.
Everything that Yoza touches this afternoon is turning to gold. And every time Hempel finds a really good visit, it seems to be one visit too late.
There was a funny look on Hempel's face then of, yeah, this isn't great timing. I could have timed this all better.
I did not envisage Yoza missing that double 12 with those markers. Double 19. Oh, that's incredible from Hempel.
Straight at it.
6 leg, Florian to throw first.
He did it at 180 to leave that 95, didn't he? So that's 275 in 5 darts. That's one of the best conversions you'll see today. He hasn't missed a dart in a while. Oh, he has now.
Nearly 8 perfect darts in a row.
If you're watching this and having a practice at the same time, try and take 275 in 5. You might not get it all day, if ever. That's how good that was from Hempel. Got some good games just about to start. Board 4, Cameron Menzies, Ian White. Ian White could use a catalyst to start his year off. William O'Connor against Devin Peterson, board 3. We've already spoken about that one. Damien Moll just about to take on Keane Barry. That is last year's semi-finalist.
And another man who's not really had a great start to the year, Ala Lukeman. Well, Jamie Hughes looked to be in total control of this game before Florian Hempel's 275 magic.
I'm not surprised to see the averages the way they are as well, Dan, because almost 94 for Hughes, mid-80s for Hempel, and that screams him trying to hold on to the coattails of Hughes, which again he does with that visit, but it's very much up to Hughes to get this 6th leg in the bank.
I mean, that last visit from Hempel was so high risk. He could have gone for the bull to leave 170, but he got the treble 20 instead. He will go straight for the bull here. Treble 20. Not this time.
Second time today we've seen somebody do that as well. Somebody going for the aggressive 60 shot instead of the defensive 25 or bull to leave the finish.
Yeah, it was Van Dongen against Dukes, wasn't it?
Yeah. Double 8.
52.
You don't need to see where the dart landed because it was written all over his face.
17.
Options. Double 16 is the choice, and it's for an unlikely level game.
Game shot in the 6th leg. Florian.
Well,
7th leg,
you can say that Hempel doesn't deserve it, and he's taking his chances. Jamie Hughes hasn't.
It's the old hot potato celebration where you go, ooh, like that, with your mouth. He knows he should not be level. He knows he should be behind maybe by 2 legs. I think the likely score in this game is 4-2 Hughes. It could have been even worse than that. But the fact that it's level now means that Hempel could find something over the next couple of legs and potentially lead himself by 2.
Maybe even 5-1 would be more representative of what we've seen, but I think the 95 checkout following the 180 was a moment of class, so that in its own right probably deserves to see Hempel level. Andrew Gilding currently 2-0 up on Darren Webster.
Oh, ex-roommates. You've got to put friendship aside when you play each other at the UK Open. Well, one thing that is poles apart, checkered percentage in this game. 3 from 3 for Hempel. 25% for Yoza. That's why we have a level game. Those 2 numbers.
The word we're looking for is clinical. Hughes can outscore Hempel all day, but if he's not finishing legs, then he's not out of it.
Here he goes again. He's going to leave a finish. Not this time. I was getting ahead of myself.
And if he left the 142, he'd have taken that out.
Probably.
Be that kind of game.
I'll tell you one guy who's really happy that he didn't. Oh, Jamie, what are
Double,
you up to?
48.
In a funny sort of way, he would rather have missed double 16 than miss double 8 right there, because it's just planted the little seed of doubt in his arm and his mind as to what's going to happen next.
He requires 16.
Cross to the 4s. Now downstairs.
12 score. Florian, you require 100.
Just a little reminder, Florian Hempel has not missed a double yet. He has now.
80.
And because of those misses, he's not in front for the first time.
Things starting to get a bit edgy on stage 2. Hughes in the madhouse.
No score. Florian, you
Well, if he
require
goes on and
20.
loses this game, Jamie Hughes has got only himself to blame, because Florian Hempel,
Game shot
as he
in the
pins
7th
double
leg.
10,
Florian,
he's only averaging just over 84 himself. It's a pretty average display from Hempel.
It's
Just
all
interspersed with good finishing.
It's all about the misses. I've lost count of how many legs that Hempel has won where Hughes has not taken his shot. He's missed 16 darts at a double in this match. He's scored fabulously.
83.
But Hempel is stuck around, just waiting for his chance. Now, how long can that last?
Yeah, you can only push your luck for so long, perhaps. Hempel needs to find his scoring boots.
That is so clever. Using the entire dart as a marker.
100.
maybe to the detriment of a 180 shot, because as soon as you get that second dart going across the line, you cover more of the bed, and getting the 180 is almost defunct after that. So you have to switch. Now this is a shot on 279 where you might have to switch again. Forget about that. That first dart's just taking everything out of the water.
Yeah, poor first dart. Scuppers the chance of a finish. Jamie Hughes is going to be absolutely raging on the inside if he loses this game.
What he has to do now is leave 96 minimum.
Get to the bull.
He's going to stay up top. That was so aggressive. Let's see if it pays off. Hempel just gets the 17. He's got tops to close Hughes out and does it wonderfully. He's done that in the game. Hughes has not. And he gave us a bit of a ferret finger there, didn't he?
They're all doing it now.
What have you started, Johnny?
What Jamie Hughes has started is leg 9 perfectly.
I remember the time when Jamie Hughes last year left himself on a 9-dart shot and miscounted. He's not going to do it this time.
I'll tell you one thing for certain. He'll never ever do that again.
Oh, don't say that, Dan. He could.
He will never do that again.
It'd be funny if he did.
Oh, it'd be funny, but
We
I don't
like
think
the
he
funny,
ever will.
but this is not funny for Jamie Hughes. He's looking at a Florian Hempel who is only 266 points away from victory.
Well, the tail of the tape. Florian Hempel, 71% on checkouts. Jamie Hughes, 15%.
15% will never get it done. Not in this company. Now, this has been a very interesting match where Hempel, I'm sure at one point thought, I'm not going to win this game, but if he hits this, he will win the game.
Another one of those. Leaves double 6. Oh, what a finish that is from Florian Hempel. Almost perfect on the doubles, and all Jamie Hughes can do is smile at him, give him a handshake. It was not Hempel's best performance in the scoring by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think he can believe that he's won the game, but Florian Hempel will be in the hat for round 4 of the UK Open. It all started so well for Jamie Hughes, but he's been undone by the German. Florian Hempel is through to round 4. And up next, we'll have Boris Kruchmar versus Jermaine Watamina.